namin to investigate cases to the threat to the President, Vice President, Senate President, Supreme Court. And if we found that the evidence is enough that there is a crime committed, we will file a case because that's the output of our investigation, sir.
Kahit po ba na hindi yung biktima, in this case yung Pangulo, biktima ng threat, kahit na hindi siya nagreklamo, automatic po yun? Kahit na hindi siya nagreklamo sa inyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Hindi nyo na siya kailangan tanungin pa na, Sir, gusto nyo po bang kasuhan namin ito? Wala nang gano'n. You will never ask. Sabihin natin, hindi lang Pangulo, Vice Presidente. Nangyari din sa Vice Presidente o sa Speaker of the House, sa Senate President o sa Chief Justice. Hindi nyo naman lang siya afford to ask him like, Sir, will you go to the process? Kasi magpa-file ka po ng mga affidavit. This is a long process, etc. Kahit na Pangulo ka po, may pipirmahan ka mga affidavit. Is it automatic, Mr. Witness?
We submitted it, sir, even without a complaint in the for preliminary investigation, sir.
No further questions, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo. Senator Judge Marcos is recognized. You may proceed, ma'am, and you have 2 minutes.
Yes, maraming salamat. Mahal na namumuna. Hihingi lang po ako ng dokumento para mas madali nating sundan ang mga pangyayari. Nalilito lahat pagkat wala po kaming papel. At ang nabigay sa amin, eto, Annex FFFGGG. Nalilito po kami kung alin dito yung mga papel. Kung maaari kaming bigyan, unang-una, yung unang tinutukoy, the first affidavit of investigation dated January 30, alleging grave threats inciting to sedition ng NBI. Ikalawa, yung napasok na yata sa record, pero nais rin namin bilang Senator Judge na magkaroon ng kopya ng DOJ certification signed by Prosecutor Bandung February 5 na nagbigay ng 7 grounds na insufficient for preliminary investigation. Ikatlo, yung naibigay na. Ito klaro to, naibigay po ni Mavic at ng iba pang staff natin, yung February 10, yung ikalawang amended na ibinigay na revised affidavit of authentication, February 11. Ngunit sabi ni Testigo Kalilong na merong kasama ito na wala rito sa record natin at sana maibigay si Senator Judge, ito yung sulat kasama nung second revised affidavit of authentication. Ito naman yung sinasabing sulat ni Santiago Fadulyon ng DOJ na nagsasaad na hindi kailangan na may private complainant yung sina Presidente, ang First Lady at saka yung dating Speaker dahil base sa kaso ng Santos Concho versus DOJ na 2008, hindi daw kailangan yung private complainant. May we also have a copy of the same. Finally, may we urge that a copy also be given of February 14 certification of DOJ asserting that the revised affidavit of investigation was finally sufficient. Nais lang namin na makita yon at alamin yung investigation data, huling-huli, nung March 7, almost a month after the submission of the affidavit of authentication, kasi halos 1 buwan bago utusan na magkaroon ng investigation data form. Sana may kopya rin tayo noon.
To respond to Senator Judge Marcos, what the court has copies of are the pre-marked documents that the parties pre-marked during pre-trial, but not documents that have not yet been pre-marked. Most of the documents you mentioned that was discussed by counsel for respondent has not yet been pre-marked. They only used it to confront via cross-examination the witness of the prosecution. But the ones we have, we will furnish you with a reminder, of course, Senator Judge Marcos, that these documents have not yet been formally offered by either party. And we still have to await formal offer before the court rules on the admissibility, if at all, of these documents. But we will endeavor to furnish the good Senator Judge with whatever the clerk has.
Yes,
Your Honor, if I may.
if we could be provided with whatever the clerk has and adequately identified, not as GGGGG or FFFFF, at sana kung mabuo yung mga dokumentong sinasabi sa lalong madaling panahon. Maraming salamat.
We will endeavor to comply as best we can, Senator Judge Marcos.
Same issue.
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano,
Peram ng GG.
what is your pleasure, sir?
Mr. President and Mr. Presiding Officer, before I ask to be allowed to ask a question, can I just follow up yung kay Senator Marcos, including the ruling yesterday? Just in the interest of all Senator judges being able to follow closely, especially kami sa first row kasi medyo nagkaka-stiff neck na kami. Mahirap tignan yung TV, so baka dun sa
Maglalagay
harap.
na po kami ng TV
Yes.
sa harap ng
And
lamesa
I
ng
don't know,
Council for Parties.
I think all of us own a iPad or a tablet. I don't know what the solution is, but if the Secretariat or the Clerk of Court, the Office of the Clerk of Court can work with our staff. Just to give you an example for today, no? If you look at the impeachment complaint on page 19, for example, it says that the affidavit we're looking for kanina, footnote number 72, is this one, in the impeachment complaint, no? It's found on Annex G. Okay, so this is Annex G. If you look at Annex G, it is a certification, not an affidavit. Okay. So where do you find the affidavit mentioned in the impeachment complaint? You actually find it in Volume 14, Annex FFFFFFFF-GGGGGGGG. So before I can even
That's not
say
dash,
that,
that's FFFFFFF to GGGGGG.
yes. So even before we finish saying that, Your Honor, Mr. Presiding Judge, medyo mahirap. To further complicate, the annexes when delivered to us was labeled annexes. And then when it was pre-marked, iba na yung marking.
That is correct.
Okay. So to clarify, I'm not asking both the prosecution and defense to give us any documents in advance that will prejudice their presentation or the rebuttal. I do understand that it has to be offered, but to speed things up and to make sure we understand, in the same manner that they're asking the witness to examine it, maybe we can be given a copy to examine at the same time, whether digital or actual copy. I don't want to impose upon them to print 24 copies. But again, anyway, it's Wednesday. We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for our staff and the clerk of court to meet.
I think
So
we already have a solution for you, Senator Judge Cayetano, as well as for Senator Judge Marcos. We will be furnishing the parties either via soft copy to your respective iPads or laptops, or we will enter their official emails as well. Kayo na po mag-print ng hard copy ng list of evidences as marked, as pre-marked by the prosecution na ipe-present for Article 4. And we will do this by article. However, insofar as I said, the documents presented by the counsel for respondent, these have not yet been pre-marked. But I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for a copy from the counsel for
on
respondent
that point,
for our guidance, whether or not the same will be offered without prejudice to respond to
On
counsel
that
for
point-
respondent, deciding on whether or not they will offer it at the appropriate time.
on that point, Mr. Presiding Officer, even if it's pre-marked, if it will prejudice their presentation, I don't mind it be given in real time. And same, no? If it's being used on cross or recross on rebuttal and hindi to na pre-mark, as long as real time, para lang we can process it. If not, we have to review afterwards and it messes up our preparation for the hearing the next day, no?
Is that possible for the parties once the roles are reversed? May I get a response
Honor.
from the counsel for respondent?
Your Honor, first we'll clarify everything that was showed today was pre-marked by the respondent.
That's not my understanding because the DOJ letter you pre-marked is different from the DOJ letter that we have pre-marked. But we'll verify. So everything was pre-marked,
Yes, Your Honor.
but you presented a document that was not pre-marked either by the prosecution or the defense. Walang marking eh.
I presented all that.
So if it was pre-marked, it's our lookout. Then then there's no problem furnishing the senator judges with a copy of the same.
We have no problem with that, Your Honor.
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano's concern has no basis if it was all pre-marked. Apparently, it was our oversight.
Yes.
Counsel for the prosecutors, would that be possible
Yes.
to furnish it? I think what counsel for respondent did earlier helped us out a lot. Plastering it on the screens, whatever affidavit you were presenting. I think counsel for the prosecutors should do the same.
Yes,
Hindi naman
Mr.
bawal
Presiding Officer.
magkopyahan dito eh. Okay lang. Senator Judge Cayetano?
Thank you. Yeah, and just to clarify, the 2 minutes is the question, not including
Yes,
the
yes, of
answer.
course.
No?
You have 2 minutes if you want to
if
start
they-
with asking questions.
Yes, if they ask to repeat the question, please don't count that. No, 2 minutes is long
We will-
with short questions, but many of us want to get to the bottom of it, end up only asking 1 or 2 questions. So just a little bit
we
liberality.
will be lenient,
Yes. Thank you.
Senator Judge
you
Alan
very much.
Cayetano. You may
Appreciate
proceed,
it.
sir. You have 2 minutes.
A question for the witness, and maybe to put all of us in check, I don't mind if any of the counsel says na medyo hindi maayos yung question. I mean, given what happened yesterday and today, and there are questions that could prejudice the case either way. As long as we call each other out respectfully, to the both counsels, you cannot correct a senator judge, but I don't mind if you think it prejudices. That's your duty to your client.
Yes, sir.
So this isn't the start of the 2 minutes yet. Sa magandang hapon, Mr. Witness.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Medyo mahaba na yung pag-upo mo dyan, but allow me a few questions. No? Yung circumstance lang, so paano nagsimula yung investigasyon na na-involve ka? Were you from the start o hindi? At written instructions ba to? O sinabi, oy, may investigasyon tayo? Just konting clarity, paano na-umpisa yung specific investigation? And was it based on the November 3 video? Tama ba?
November 23, Your Honor.
Okay.
It all started, I received a phone call, sir, from my executive officer that there is a video wherein there is a statement given by the Vice President, which is classified as threat, and I was tasked and assigned to investigate the case, sir.
Okay. So basically, ganun yung pagkasabi na I'm tasking you to look at the video, investigate.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you working alone or with a group?
With a group, Your Honor.
NBI group.
Yes, Your Honor.
And was this is there an interagency also or just purely NBI?
Don't have personal knowledge. Maybe our chief, sir, has the
Okay.
knowledge on that, sir.
Yes. No, that's all I asked for naman, yung personal knowledge.
Yes, Your Honor.
So pakiulit mo yung sinabing, how exactly sinabi sa'yo na tignan mo yung video, imbestigahan mo, or may statement? So,
To be specific, sir, as far as I remember, may statement si Vice President regarding the November 23 press conference na kung saan may pagbabanta na naganap,
Okay.
pakiimbestigahan.
pakiimbestigahan. So, ganun ka-general.
Yes
May
po.
pagbabantang naganap, pakiimbestigahan.
Yes po.
And you proceeded by watching the video.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when you watched the video, you got to the part na may pagbabanta.
No, Your Honor. I first don't know which part of that.
So you watched the whole video, of course.
First, the clippings, Your Honor.
Okay.
Then, I look for the whole video, Your Honor.
Then you watched the whole video.
Yes, Your Honor.
And thank you for your honesty. So after the clipping, tapos the whole video, what did you do next? You reported or you made your recommendations? I don't understand the process lang kasi.
Upon identifying the whole video, I informed my executive officer that I identified the video, Your Honor.
And then yung sinabi mo yesterday, then you started looking for patterns. That's why you looked at yung dating mga video ni Vice President.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you started investigating the threat against the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker of the House.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you investigate the threat against the Vice President?
We tried, Your Honor.
How did you try?
It is included in our letter to the Vice President, Your Honor. That's why we're inviting her to proceed to our office to investigate the threats to her life, Your Honor.
How about the vlogger who asked her about Oplan or whatever they call that, Romanov? Did you invite them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did they testify?
The Princess Maui did not appear, Your Honor.
Did not appear. Did you also look for previous videos that are threatening to the Vice President?
We look on the Romanov part, Your Honor.
Okay.
But we identify a different person who first mentioned the Romanov, Your Honor.
Did you coordinate with the PSG?
I have no personal knowledge, Your Honor.
You yourself?
Yes, Your Honor. Maybe our chief, Your Honor.
Yeah. But you are aware that the primary responsibility of protecting both the President and the Vice President is the PSG.
Yes, Your Honor.
So isn't it fair to say that any investigation against a threat to the first family, the President or the Vice President, you would normally ask the PSG if they received any threat?
I have no personal knowledge, Your Honor.
No, I'm asking, hindi ba normal sa investigation kung sino yung primary agency na taga-protekta na lumalaban dun sa threat ay tatanungin natin?
Yes, Your Honor.
So bakit hindi tinanong ng NBI ang PSG? Or in your case, why didn't you ask the PSG?
Maybe it can be answered by our chief, Your Honor.
No, I'm not. I will ask your chief also. I'm asking you, when they said, look at this, you looked at other videos, you tried to get Princess Maui, you tried to get the Vice President, but you didn't contact the PSG for the First Lady, for the President, and for all you know, the PSG will tell you right there and there, the threat is real, or the PSG will say, politika lang yan. Diba? Both the Vice President and the President are protected by the PSG. So why wasn't so nakalimutan lang or wala sa procedure nyo or
Your Honor, there is already a statement from the National Security Council, Your Honor, that it is an active threat, Your Honor. That's why we start investigation.
Yes, and the primary group that will know if it's an active threat is the PSG. So if this was the United States, it will be the Secret Service. So whether the FBI or the CIA, state troopers, the federal marshals, kung sino man mag-iimbestiga, parati nilang tatanungin yung Secret Service. So I'm just curious why we did not ask the PSG input.
Kindly wind up, Senator Cayetano. Senator
Okay.
Cayetano.
So my last question is, how did you characterize the threat of the Vice President to the President? Given that ang exact words niya, huwag kang mag-alala ma'am sa security ko kasi may kinausap na akong tao, sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako. So that I'll be fair to you and not vague, no? Did that phrase, kapag pinatay ako, have any bearing in your investigation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was that bearing or thoughts in your mind?
First of all po, dun sa statement, may nakausap na po. It already took place before pa yung mangyari yung meeting. And nung
Excuse
condition...
me, I'm not talking about yung may kinausap
Apo.
na para pumatay. Ang sinasabi ko yung sinabi niya na pag pinatay ako.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did that affect your investigation?
There is a condition na kapag pinatay siya. But as we can see, it's only applicable if there is only two parties. The statement make a loophole wherein a third party can use that na kapag namatay si BP, ma-execute ngayon yung statement ni BP na may nakausap na siya without the participation of the one mentioned, the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker of the House, Your Honor.
That's fair. But what I'm saying is that in your reports, did you characterize it as a conditional threat? Kasi kung hindi naman siya pinatay, the logical implication is that there's no threat against the... So I'm not saying it's not illegal, immoral to contract a killer. I'm just trying to follow the logic na pag sinabi kong pakukulong kita, Mr. Witness, pag nagsinungaling ka under oath, then it's actually not a threat. It's a legal... I'm just telling you the law, di ba? Pero
Yes,
pag sinabi kong pag hindi ka sumunod sa akin, ano yung kita. So that's my last question lang. So how did you characterize that? It wasn't a conditional in your mind because may kinausap na?
Even with or without, sir, it's still considered a threat as long as the
I
person.
have no doubt there. I'm just asking, is it a conditional threat?
Based on our affidavit, sir, I believe it's conditional, which
Based in your affidavit. But your initial assessment, yung personal mo as an investigator, this is an investigation of the whole NBI, but yung personal mo.
The threat is absolute, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Cayetano.
Yeah.
We now proceed. Senator Judge Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po.
Thereafter, Senator Judge Zubiri.
Maraming
Senator
salamat
Judge
po.
Padilla, you have 2 minutes.
Opo. Nais ko lamang po magtanong sa ating saksi. Ginoong saksi, kanina po kasi habang nagkakaroon ng pagdinig, ako po'y laging iistorbo dahil tuwing may itatanong, mag-o-object. Medyo magulo po eh. Pwede po bang sagutin po ninyo ako dahil noong pong February 5, ang sabi po dito ay insufficient po yung na hindi dapat makarating na sa preliminary investigation. Tama po ba? February 5 po yun?
May certification, sir. Yes po.
Opo. Tapos nung February 14, naging sufficient na for conduct of preliminary investigation. Nasagot po ba yung 7 na sinabi dito na para, ang sinasabi po kasi dito nung February 5, merong 7 na kulang.
I believe so, sir. That's why we have received a certification, sir.
Ayun. Kasi po, parang narinig ko kanina, hindi po naibigay yung original copy nung sinagawang interview kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Yung original po na kopya, kung sino po yung nag-record. Wala po kayong affidavit? Meron po ba kayong affidavit na nakuha nyo?
Yes, sir. Ako po yung ang inire-request po ng DOJ dyan is affidavit po nung nag-screen record, which is my affidavit, Your Honor.
Meron po siyang affidavit?
Ako, sir. Ako po yung nag-execute, sir.
Kasi hindi
ang-
po yung mismong tao.
Yes po. Ang hinihingi po kasi ni DOJ is kung sino yung nag-screen record through OBS, sir.
Hindi po yung mismong tao.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kayo lang po yung nag-affidavit.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero meron po kayong ng pagkakataon ba na nakausap niyo yung tao at nagbigay siya ng affidavit?
May I clarify, Your Honor, if sinong tao yung tinutukoy?
Yung nag-record po.
Ako po yung nag-record through OBS, sir.
Hindi po. Yung mismong nag-record po kay Inday sa Vice President. Nakausap niyo po ba? Yung raw file po. Kasi napakahalaga po nun. Kasi doon po natin malalaman kung original ba o hindi.
The video itself, sir, is publicly available. That's why I performed the recording, sir.
Opo. Pakisagot na lang po, mahal na saksi, kung nakuha niyo po ba yung original. Yung original, hindi po yung galing sa internet.
The original, no, sir.
Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Judge Padilla. Senator Judge Zubiri, you are recognized, sir. You have 2 minutes.
Maraming salamat to our presiding officer. Magandang hapon po, Sir Witness.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Gusto ko lang magtanong, clarificatory questions lang po ito. Dito ba sa ating bansa, dahil tinatanong ko po ito sa inyo, dahil kayo po investigating body, sa ating bansa, meron bang specific law pagdating sa mga banta sa Pangulo, Pangalawang Pangulo at kanyang mga successors? Or yan ba'y pasok lang sa grave threats, which is applied sa lahat? Applicable sa lahat ng tao?
Based on my personal knowledge, sir, it's only on the grave threat, Your Honor.
Which is applied to everyone, if I'm not mistaken. No? Kasi sa batas sa Amerika, sa Estados Unidos, meron pong tinatawag na number 18 under the United States Code, Section 871. There is a specific law na pinagbabawal po itong mga threats to the President, Vice President, and its successors. May jail time po ito at may fine na malaki. As a matter of fact, dito sa panahon ni Pangulong Trump, marami na po silang kinasuhan at hinabla at napasok sa kulungan dahil sa paglabag nitong batas na ito. At Secret Service po ang sumasagawa ng investigasyon. Sa atin ba dito, ang NBI ba ang nabigyan po ng kapangyarihan para gawin itong investigasyon under your new NBI code?
Under our law, sir, the new NBA law, included po yung investigation to the threats to the life of the President, the Vice President, the Speaker, the Senate President, and the Supreme Court, sir.
So, klaro na kayo, nasa kapangyarihan ninyo. Kasi hindi pwede sa Presidential Security Group. Hindi katulad sa Estados Unidos, yung Secret Service ang talagang nanguhuli at nag-imbestiga. Sa atin dito sa Pilipinas, ang NBI po ang nangunguna sa investigasyon. Tama po ba yan o mali?
It is within our law, sir.
Okay. And this is just food for thought because not only are we senator judges, we're also legislators. It may be time that we also craft a law that will be specific on threats made to the President, Vice President, and its successors, meaning the Senate President, the Speaker of the House, and the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Sa Amerika kasi, sa batas po nila, and I'll just wrap up, the defendant, to secure conviction, the defendant communicated a threat. The defendant understood and intended the statement as a true threat. Hindi po niya sinabi joke only in the end. And pangatlo, the defendant knowingly and willfully makes the threat. So just food for thought as legislators as well. So maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Judge Zubiri. We now proceed to where we left off. I believe that was the redirect of the counsel for the prosecutor. Just out of curiosity, without any pressure, because I promised I would declare a break somewhere in between, depending on how long your direct and recross would be. I can call the break after the recross and the statement of the counsel for respondent, so that we break on a good point before we call on the last witness for today. Yes, counsel for the prosecutors.
As to the question, if the prosecution will do the direct examination,
The redirect. Kung mahaba-haba
sorry,
pa
the
yung
redirect examination after the cross-examination of the defense, the prosecution decides not to conduct a redirect, Your Honor, please.
Thank you, counsel for the prosecutor. Counsel for the respondent, do you want to begin to utilize your time now?
Your Honor, I will turn over the mic to my co-counsel. He will also be the cross-examiner for the next witness.
But Your Honor, please, sorry. May I make a manifestation, Your Honor, please, before we proceed, Your Honor, please? A manifestation as to the
In
statement.
connection with what, counsel for the prosecutors?
As to the manifestation earlier that all the documents that were confronted, that were
Yes.
presented to the witness, I believe that the defense said that all those exhibits were pre-marked. But based on our records, Your Honor, please, and then I hope the defense will clarify this for the record. We perused the documents and we don't see that the articles of partnership and the screenshots of the websites that were presented earlier, based on our tally, based on our records, these were not pre-marked, contrary to what the defense manifested. So we would like to seek clarification from the defense.
That is correct, Your Honor. Those three documents were not
Noted
pre-marked.
and entered into the records.
Thank you so much.
Given that there is no redirect and recross, counsel, can you state for the record your name?
Good afternoon, Your Honors. I am Mark Sivin Luan for the Vice President.
Sir, you're aware of the situation. Time was given to the counsel for the prosecutors to make a discussion about whether or not Article 4, the acts alleged in Article 4 constitute an impeachable offense. You have the same time of 4 minutes and 26 minutes, which were around. Before I allow you to continue, kawawa naman si Mr. Calilong. Mr. Witness, Mr. Calilong, Senator Judge Lacson, before we excuse. Senator Judge Soto is recognized. Sir, what is your pleasure, sir?
Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer, are we going to dispense with the witness already?
Unless you have questions. I believe Senator Lacson has questions to the witness. So not yet.
Well, it's a simple question.
The gentleman
You're
may proceed.
familiar. Thank you very much. You're familiar with the internet, of course.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you noticed that lately all the AI-generated videos have a caption saying AI-generated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kaya pag walang nakalagay na AI-generated, siguradong hindi AI-generated?
Yes, Your
exactly.
Honor. Today, Your Honor.
Yes, lately, no?
Lately, Your Honor.
Lahat nakalagay. Pag AI-generated, nakalagay AI-generated and Meta does not allow it. Right?
They allowed it, but there is a AI info part.
Correct.
On
Let's
the
say
post.
there is a manifestation.
Yes,
that
Your
it's
Honor. It is
AI-generated.
explicitly mentioned that AI.
So you're aware of that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's it.
Senator Judge Lacson, you likewise have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President. I have questions para sa ating testigo. Since you are presented here as an expert witness, alam nyo, nagkusort din ako sa digital forensics expert para lang makonvince sa sarili ko. No, my first question is, in this day and age of artificial intelligence, no, will you agree with me na it is almost impossible to distinguish an AI-generated video from the original?
It
Almost
is-
impossible.
Yes, Your Honor. It is hard, Your Honor.
Yeah, very hard, di ba? Very difficult. So kasi ito, impeachment trial, ano? Kasi sa court, ginagamit talaga yung expert testimony ng digital or computer forensics expert. Now, you may or may not answer this question kung classified, ano? Gusto ko lang malaman, ano ba yung digital forensic tools na ginagamit din sa NBI?
Currently, I'm not familiar. But during the time na nandun po ako sa Digital Forensic Laboratory Division, meron kaming N-Case Forensic, Celebrite, and Amped Authenticate, sir. Amped Authenticate, sir.
Ang balita ko, yung AMP 5 or AMP Authenticate, di ba?
Amped Authenticate, sir.
Ito yung ginagamit ninyo. Ito, capable ito na magsagawa ng reverse image, a photo or video, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ito ba yung ginamit mo?
For this part, Your Honor, the OBS only, Your Honor.
Bakit hindi nyo ginamit ito?
The duration is too large, Your Honor, the 2 hours. And the Amped Authenticate can only detect if there is a inconsistent FPS, Your Honor.
Yeah, kaya ako tinanong yon dahil una-una maraming para mag-adhere na magamit sa korte, no? Likewise sa impeachment court. May mga requirements, di ba? Sinabi mo kasi meron kayong open source, di ba?
Yes,
Pero
Your Honor.
ang pinaka-importante yung chain of custody, of course, yung provenance,
Yes, Your Honor.
yung original na pinanggalingan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ang sabi mo, pinanggalingan lang Facebook.
The Facebook was captured, Your Honor.
So, hindi yun ang original, di ba?
The screen recording is the original itself as to my authentication, sir.
Yeah, and you can attest sa authenticity ng video
Yes, Your Honor.
in spite of not being or not having originated from the original.
Yes, Your Honor. I compared the recorded with the original and ensured that the contents are identical, Your Honor.
Kasi nabanggit mo rin, ginamit mo yung manual comparison simultaneously ng dalawang videos.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero again, I will insist na talagang hindi reliable yung manual. Ito yung sinabi sa akin ng digital forensics expert na nakausap ko. No? Ang pinaka mas importante, makuha mo yung original copy, yun nga, yung provenance, di ba? Para talagang, tapos masundan mo yung sa analysis, gagamitan mo ng tools para malaman mo na talagang authentic yung video. Of course, I'm not here to question the authenticity. I just want to be assured dahil sabi ko nga kanina, pagka sa artificial intelligence, napakahirap talaga. Almost impossible to distinguish it from the original video or yung source.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are competent enough doon sila ginagamit yung forensic tools o forensics tools at yung inyong yung competence mo through your training, you know,
And experience, Your Honor.
and experience. Kasi sabi mo nga, you've been with the NBI since 2021, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And since then, you have appeared in some 20,
At least 30, Your Honor.
30,
Yes, Your
30 court hearings.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Senator Judge Lacson. Senator Judge Cayetano, what is your pleasure?
Just a clarification addressed to the presiding officer.
You may proceed, sir.
Apologies, I don't remember if it was one of the counsels or one of the senator judges who asked the witness a while ago whether he was an expert witness, and he said he was a competent witness.
That is correct.
And there's a
The
difference
presiding
between an
officer
expert
confirms that.
witness. So he's not an expert witness. He's an competent witness.
That is correct, Your Honor.
So that will have bearing because whether or not an AI video can be produced without an AI has to be testified by an expert witness.
If I may,
Wait, yeah, go ahead.
If I
That
may-
doesn't mean, I don't think you'll disagree with my second statement. That doesn't mean that this witness is not competent to testify on that. Second point, I just like to clarify for the record, my understanding of watching the video is that it was on StreamYard, then a link was shared sa Facebook.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if that's the case, Mr. Presiding Officer, the original video is with StreamYard, not with Facebook, or are both original?
It's Zoom, Your Honor.
Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor.
I was informed StreamYard, but just for the record, so that later on when we review everything, someone testified to it.
Duly noted.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Duly noted and entered into records. Mr. Vinluan, you have your 4 minutes and 26 seconds, but we cannot use the seconds in our timer, so just look at the clock, sir, please.
Your Honor, please.
Before we... yes, Mr. Kalilong, you are excused, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And thank you for your time and cooperation with this impeachment court.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, Your
much,
Honor.
NBI Senior Agent John Mark Calilong. Thank you so much.
Hold on, Mr. Kalilong. Yes, Senator Judge Padilla. What is your pleasure, sir?
Ginoong tagapamahala ng hukumang ito, nais ko lamang po sana hingin ang mga credentials ng ating saksi kung paano po lahat ng kanyang certification, lahat, upang mapatunayan po natin lahat na
He's ready.
To it earlier, but kindly respond to the question of Senator Judge Padilla, Mr. Witness.
I have here, sir, my certifications during the time of my investigation, Your Honor.
Can you, mahaba ba?
I can read, Your Honor.
Mahaba ba? Hindi.
ibigay na lang po siguro sa
Kindly
atin.
just submit it to us, yes, please.
Opo,
Yes,
submit
sir.
na lang po.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If that is okay with Senator Judge Padilla. Thank you, sir. Mr. Kalilong, you are excused, sir, and thank you for your time and cooperation with the impeachment court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The presiding officer will just wait for the witness to leave the premises before recognizing Attorney Binon. Okay, Attorney Binon, you have 4 minutes and 26 seconds. You may proceed, sir. Thereafter, we will call for a 15-minute break.
In the discourse yesterday, talking about VP Sara's statements during the November 23, 2024 press con, Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros stated, and I quote, "None of these statements are proof that the Vice President actually contracted an assassin or hired one. She is absolutely right." She then asked the question, why are these acts impeachable? To this question, the prosecution responded, "We understand that these statements may not actually 100% prove that she in fact contracted an assassin." End of quote. Hence, The prosecution admitted that the video does not prove any fact other than its existence. In simple words, there is no proof of any contracting of an assassin. The prosecution's admission before this honorable court made the respondent's position clear. The prosecution has no other competent evidence to prove that VP Sara contracted an assassin. Ang testimonya ni Kalilong, gaya ng iba pang ebidensya kuno ng prosecution, ay hindi sapat para patunayan ang paratang na ito. Trying to prove this stretched narrative using a hodgepodge of materials is a waste of this honorable court's time and the Filipino people's money. Si VP Sara na mismo ang nagsabi na hindi assassin ang kinausap niya. This term only came from people who took her statements out of their proper context and tried to exaggerate them for what they really meant. The truth of the matter is this: she and her family were threatened, and while her response was unconventional, it was justified. What triggered her response was a question about Operation Romanov, which is the plot to eliminate VP Sara and her entire family. The NBI's own records prove this. In the minutes of the meeting of Dempsey Reyes' interview, he said, and I quote, "May press con kasi earlier than that, sabi niya, parang hindi lang niya gusto daw, sabi lang niya gusto daw siyang patayin daw, according to her, ni Speaker. That was during a press conference the day before, November 2022. End of quote. During the virtual press con, Princess Maui mentioned Operation Romanov again and even warned her about her safety. Reyes talked about it, Princess Maui reiterated it, but the NBI gaslighted it. When VP Sara uttered those words, she was not responding as Sara Duterte, the Vice President, but Sara Duterte, the wife, mother, daughter, and sister, who only sought to protect her own and her family members' lives. Operation Romanov is in place, and the threat against their lives is real. VP Sara became the target of unauthorized intelligence and surveillance operations by government operatives that exposed her family to high-level risks and security threats, thereby causing intense trauma and uncontrollable fear. Her homes in Davao and Manila were profiled, and this is proven by classified casing reports. Her trusted security personnel were removed. Her schedule of official functions, like the one in Naga, was leaked by intelligence agents, and her security was heavily compromised. In sum, the prosecution was right in using the term culmination. But the prosecution's interpretation is wrong. Rather, when VP Sara left the administration, she suffered various forms of threats and harassment for many months from the powers that be, and the culmination was her statement on that fateful early morning in November 2024. She didn't commit an impeachable offense. She drew the line in the sand and said, "Enough is enough." That is the meaning, and that is the context. Finally, as to the alleged grave threats and inciting to sedition, these are defined by their vice penal code and are punishable by prisión correccional. Thus, these fall under the jurisdiction of the MTC or first-level courts. These charges are not other high crimes as contemplated by the Constitution as grounds for impeachment and are therefore not impeachable. After all, VP Sara was fighting two important battles that day. One against the threat to her family's life, and another against the life of the ordinary Filipino, constantly suffocated by the immense weight of corruption, which she talked about during the press con. She never incited sedition, she merely echoed the voice of ordinary Filipinos. Her message that day only reflected what was already in their hearts and minds. There was no betrayal of public trust. She actually upheld the people's trust as she spoke for and behalf of the people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Vidluan. Chair declares a 50... Senator Judge Bam Aquino, before we declare a recess.
Yes, just a quick manifestation, Mr.
You
President.
may proceed, sir.
Tapos na po tayo sa unang witness. It's taken us maybe a total of 9 hours for the first witness. Ito ho, isang pakiusap sa parehong grupo. Alam ko po may kanya-kanya tayong estilo, may kanya-kanya tayong strategy, but if possible, can we allow the testimonies to be heard? Can we have proceedings that will go straight to the point? Kasi po nanonood ang taong bayan, pati po kaming mga senator judge. Gusto rin ho naming makita itong mga proceedings, yung mga ebidensya na mas madali ring maintindihan. So ito naman po, di ho namin pwede itong idikta sa inyo. But if possible, the succeeding witnesses, and we have a long list, this goes for both parties by the way, let's have proceedings where we can go straight to the point, malaman natin yung puntos ng bawat grupo para makapagdesisyon rin po tayo ng maayos. Ito po this is a plea, no? This is not an order to both parties, but if we can, this is the People's Tribunal, we're watching, everybody's watching, sana po, payagan natin na lumabas yung mga katotohanan, lumabas yung mga ebidensya upang maging mas madali at mas kaaya-aya po yung ating proceedings. Yun lang po, Mr. President.
Thank you so much.
Noted and entered into the records. Chair would like to give Senator Bam, bibigyan ko ng konting pag-asa sa Senator Bam. Usually, ang mga paglilitis tulad nito, parang diesel yan. Sa simula, syempre dahil una pa lamang, nagkakasanayan, nagkakaestimahan, pero bibilis at bibilis to sa pagdaloy din ng ilang araw lang ng trial natin. And you will be able to see that in the next couple of days. Chair declares a 15-minute recess. We
Your Honor,
all come
please.
back.
Your Honor,
Yes,
please.
counsel for the prosecutor.
Before the declaration of recess, I suppose that the reason is for the presentation of the next witness for
Yes.
the prosecution. We manifest, Your Honor, that John Mark Calilong will be our witness for this afternoon. We'll be presenting the next witness during the next hearing on Monday, Your Honor, please.
You won't present Attorney Lotok anymore?
Yes,
today?
Your Honor. On Monday, Your Honor, please. We will utilize the 11 days allotted to Article 4 for the prosecution, Your Honor, please.
So, no Attorney Lotok today?
Today, we'll do that on Monday, Your Honor, please.
So,
Your Honor.
Chair would like to, I guess there's no need to declare a recess.
Yes, Your
Senator
Honor,
Judge
please.
Lacson,
Your
thank you for
Honor.
that manifestation. Yes, counsel for the respondent.
Your
What
Honor,
do you want
maybe
to say?
just clarified if Attorney Lotok is the witness on Monday because they had already
Yes.
disclosed the witness.
I was about to ask that question.
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney Jeremy
Your Honor.
Lotok will be presented
On
by the
Monday?
prosecution on Monday, Your Honor, please.
Likewise, can you name us, you manifested that you will also be presenting next week or requesting a subpoena to, yes, to Attorney Lopez and Attorney Director Matibag.
That would be Captain Belinda Bello, Your Honor, please, and NBI Director
Matibag.
and then
Lotok first.
Lotok, Your Honor, please, and then
Matibag.
we'll disclose on Bello, Your Honor, please. Captain
the Sergeant at Arms.
Belinda Bello of the House of Representatives, Your Honor, please.
So those two witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor.
We have 3 days, counsel.
No. Wait.
Name me one more.
Okay, that would be NBI Director Matibag, Your Honor, please.
Given the manifestation of the counsel for the prosecutor, Chair hereby orders the issuance of subpoena once again to Attorney Lotok for the trial dates on July 13, 14, and 15, as well as for Attorney Melvin Matibag. No need for a subpoena for Miss Bella?
Your Honor.
Before I recognize counsel for respondent, no need for a subpoena?
There's no need for subpoena, Your Honor, please.
You did not request for a subpoena, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
So no need.
No need, Your Honor.
You will produce, can you state the name again for the record, counsel? Can you state for the name of the witness again for the record?
Your Honor, the first witness will be Captain Belinda Bello. Sorry, that would be Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok. Number 2 is Captain Belinda Bello. And number 3, NBI Director Matibag. And number 4.
Thank you.
That's for no.
Thank you,
For next
counsel.
week, those are the witnesses, Your Honor, please.
Thank you. Counsel for respondent,
Your
what
Honor,
is your pleasure?
Your Honor, considering the change in schedule, may we just confirm if that is the exact order of presentation next week?
I believe so. The chair would like to be the one to confirm that. To reiterate,
Your Honor, may I be recognized? I apologize.
yes, the member of the panel of prosecutors, Representative Defensor, what is your pleasure, sir?
Your Honor, may I just correct, since the private counsel is under the direct supervision and control of the
Yes, of
counsel of
course.
prosecutors. For Monday, Your Honors, we will be presenting Attorney Jeremy Lotok. For Wednesday, we will be presenting or Tuesday, we'll be presenting Attorney Zulaika Lopez. And for Wednesday, our third witness, we will be presenting Captain Belinda Bello.
Captain Belinda. So, Director Matibag is not yet going to be presented next week.
Not yet, Your Honor. We will manifest on Monday if we can consider him for the Wednesday's session, depending on how the trial goes or how long the testimonies will take for both parties.
Noted. What is the pleasure of counsel? Chair would like now to discuss and dispense with some administrative matters. The BIR box, which the chair ordered to be returned on July 6, has actually been returned to the BIR, sealed, untouched, and duly received accordingly. And the counsel for the prosecutors have filed a motion for the issuance of subpoena duces tecum ad testificandum to the BIR concerning this box. Has a copy been furnished to the counsel for the respondents?
None yet, Your Honor.
None yet? I thought, yes,
Your Honor, we confirm that we emailed a copy to the respondents. Last
kindly
Monday,
check
Your Honor.
so that we can dispense with the need of reading the subpoena. Having said that, given that this has been put in issue rather in the pre-trial brief of both parties, there is counsel for respondent, we will accord the same treatment to this with respect to the subpoena, request for subpoena for the bank accounts of the spouses, Vice President Sara Duterte and Attorney Mans Carpio. Therefore, the presiding officer orders both parties to submit a memoranda on the subject matter of the subpoena of the BIR records on Monday. And we will also schedule the oral arguments for deciding on this issue together with the bank records on Wednesday. Each party will be given 10 minutes without prejudice to a rebuttal and or a rebuttal by the other side for another 3 minutes before the court shall decide.
We will comply, Your Honor.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Thank you. So ordered. In regard to the request for the issuance of a motion for subpoena, asan yung... May I ask if counsel for the respondents were likewise furnished with a copy of the most request for subpoena, although this is ex parte because this is only with respect to witnesses. So there is no need to issue a subpoena to Attorney Melvin Matibag for next week. Honorable Defensor? No need?
No need, Your Honor.
So just Attorney Zulaika Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Chair orders that subpoena be issued to Attorney Zulaika Lopez to appear on July 13, 14, as indicated by the counsel for the prosecutors, given that on the 15th, we might be arguing on the bank deposits and the BIR documents.
We submit, Your Honor.
So ordered. There being no other matters for consideration by the court, and given that the counsel for the prosecutors have manifested that they will no longer present Attorney Lotok today, but rather on Monday, the trial is hereby adjourned until 2 p.m. of Monday, July 13, 2026.
Good morning. Good morning. Magandang umaga sa inyo, Alvin at Doris, at sa inyong mga tagapanood, tagapakinig. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
I object.
Agad-agad na yun. Natutuwa ako kay Attorney Mel, partner, kahit sa
Prosecutors, and on the part of the respondent, it'll be Attorney Narvasa? That would be correct? By the way, while we're
Yes, Your
waiting
Honor.
for the witness, Attorney Narvasa, if you recall yesterday, Attorney Ligutan, in response to a question by a senator judge, gave a discussion, a peroration, if you will. But yesterday I said we will be giving counsel the same opportunity. I cleared it earlier with Senator Pia Cayetano who wanted the statements deleted from the record. However, since this is a televised proceeding, nakita na eh, napakinggan na eh. So, i-erase ko man sa record, baliwala na lang. The fairest thing to do is to give you an opportunity as well. Attorney Ligutan spent 5 minutes and 18 seconds delivering his discussion. The court will give you the same time after your cross-examination
Your
with a
Honor.
warning. With a warning and reminder from the presiding officer that the presiding officer will not tolerate such perorations again by either party, even if it is in response to a question of a senator judge, and the presiding officer will try to remind as best we can senator judges to let the witnesses present the evidence of both parties instead of the counsels presenting both facts and law through their statements. Senator Judge Cayetano, Alan.
I'd like to thank the presiding officer for prudence, for wisdom in trying to resolve this issue. And I do understand that we are 24 people, all elected by the people, all wanting justice, all wanting a fair trial. Having said that, prudence dictates that we stop ourselves from asking certain questions that can prejudice the whole trial, whether or not our intention is to do so. So the problem is well stated by the presiding officer that if we simply delete from the record, mapapanood nyo na rin naman sa YouTube yung magandang discussion ng prosecution. So on one sense, it is fair to give the defense a chance to answer. But on another sense, it's unfair. Why? Because whoever phrases the question, lamang na eh. Kasi yung question nga is, why is this an impeachable offense? So for example, if I was the one who stood up yesterday and I asked the prosecution, why is this a political vendetta? And why is the House not investigating the flood control instead of investigating the Vice President? That would be unfair. That would be unfair to the House. That would be unfair to everyone. So simply giving the prosecution the chance to answer that question I asked would be unfair to everyone. So I do not know the solution. I accept the solution of the presiding officer. Now let's not tolerate any more questions like that. I agree with Senator P. I don't like being called out. But that's the role of the presiding officer and the Senate President. No? So sana yun lang, no, na one, when we ask the questions, we'll make sure it doesn't prejudice the whole trial. Whatever we say here, may ma-accuse na lawyering for the prosecution or defense. Okay lang yun. Okay lang yun. Sa prayer nga kahapon, di ba? Basta't justice, bahala na magalit. Okay. But my last point, Mr. President, let's give the defense a little latitude in not only answering that question, but what you want to say. Because nga, the question is unfair. So if you're simply going to answer that question, then it won't solve the problem na nakapagsalita sila 5 minutes, kayo nakapagsalita. So we'll consider, personally, I'll consider the very eloquent answer yesterday as a sort of a closing. So same, personally lang, Mr. Presiding Officer, give the latitude to the defense na parang closing din, whatever. Because they have affirmative defenses. And they did not push us to hear that. They went straight to trial. So dun din sa mga nagsasabi na delay sa dami ng objection, that's unfair. No? Let's give everyone latitude here. The same thing, I think, may konting ano sa internet na photocopies are not original and the council was simply citing, tama ba? A Supreme Court decision, no?
And the rules of court.
And the rules
Your
of
Honor.
court. So I'm just saying it's an emotional issue. So all of us will be hit, badgered, whatever. I think trabaho naman nung witness natin, bantayan yung internet. So as long as hindi foul, hindi threat. But having said that, Mr. President, let's give each other leeway, but only to the point that the trial will not disintegrate, di ba, into a political fiasco or circus. Thank you, Mr. President.
The remarks of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano are noted. Senator Judge Pia Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. President. This will be brief. First of all, I'd just like to confirm that I acknowledge what the presiding officer said, that I agreed. Basically, I'm withdrawing my motion in the interest of fairness, because the delivery of justice is about fairness. So kung nakapagsalita nga ang prosecution with their closing statement, di pwede rin dapat mag-closing statement ang defense, no? So I am amenable to that. But very, very, very briefly, Mr. President, I'd like to put on record, why are we being strict about the rules? Why do I have to bother standing up? Well, because nothing in this world will run well without the rules. Now, my colleagues, the Senate is a basketball-loving Senate. Dami dito, hilig mag-basketball. Kung ako volleyball player, colleagues ko, basketball. I'll use basketball as an example. Will you have a decent basketball game if there's no rules? No, there's rules. That's why we stand up. And then sometimes there are also opportunities to question the rules. That's also fine. But that's why we have to stand up and call the attention of the presiding officer when we feel that the rules are being violated. And we will continue to do so when we believe it is necessary in the interest of justice. Thank you, Mr. President.
The remarks of the lady are noted. Since we are discussing housekeeping chores and matters, let the presiding officer continue with the same. The presiding officer will call for a break midway through in order to afford the parties 15 minutes to relax, go over their notes, and do their thing. In regard to senator judges or counsels for the parties who are not on deck, you're free to answer the call of nature in the least disruptive manner possible and return afterwards outside of the 15 minutes that we will be doing halfway through the proceedings. And finally, a request has been brought to the presiding officer to request as well the senator judges to lower the tone of conversational voices because I think where you're seated is an echo chamber. Naririnig sa iba't ibang sulok ng plenaryong ito yung mga sinasabi din ninyo at hindi rin nakakapag-concentrate yung ilan sa ating mga kasama na nakaupo sa paligiran ninyo. Just a reminder, and one last reminder before I recognize counsel for the respondent, Mr. Calilong, you will be testifying once again and will be undergoing cross-examination under the same oath
Yes, Your
that you
Honor.
took yesterday. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, counsel for respondent, Attorney Narvasa. If you're ready, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Your Honor, may I be allowed to approach a witness?
You may do so.
Thank you, Your
counsel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Calilong.
Good afternoon, sir.
During your direct examination, you testified that you were trained on photo and video authentication.
Yes, sir.
You said that you were trained for 2 weeks?
Specific for photo and video, sir.
Sir, my questions are answerable by yes or a no. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
please constrain yourself to these questions, unless I tell you, okay?
Objection to that, Your Honor, please.
And you got this training from Max.
Before counsel for respondent proceeds, counsel for the prosecutor to let the presiding officer
Your Honor.
recognize you first. You are so recognized, sir. What is your objection?
Thank you so much. Inasmuch as I would like to accommodate the defense that in asking the question that the witness is to be limited to a yes or no question, Your Honor, please. Unfortunately, Your Honor, please, that's not sanctioned in the rules. There's nothing in our rules that would allow a defense to constrain a witness, even on cross-examination, to answer the questions by a yes or no answer. It's not in the rules. So, Your Honor, please, we cannot constrain a witness to answering either a yes or a no. The witness should be able to qualify. The usual answer by the defense is that it could be handled by the prosecution on redirect. But that is not the case, Your Honor, please. So long as there is nothing in the rules that would allow the defense to constrain the witness to answer yes or no, the prosecution will vehemently object to that, Your Honor,
The
please.
presiding officer
May I, Your
overrules
Honor?
the presiding officer overrules the objection. The counsel for prosecutors can make a continuing objection regarding this matter, but it is the position of the presiding officer that the witness is seasoned enough. According to his testimony yesterday, he has attended over, if I recall correctly, 30 hearings already. So he would know how to respond and to explain if the need would arise. And it's up for counsel for the respondent, if at all, to strike out whatever answers that are not responsive to his question. Counsel for respondent may proceed.
Thank
We
you.
would abide, Your Honor, we would abide.
Thank you, counsel for the prosecutors.
And you testified that you got this training from MaxCore Interventures,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
And you said that the training you got from MaxCore Interventures was in digital forensics.
Yes, sir.
I have with me in Articles of Partnership of MaxCore Interventures Co. You see that it states that it is the Articles of Partnership of MaxCore Interventures Co.
Your Honor, may we allow Attorney Stephen Magallon to also approach the witness stand to peruse the document. And of course, at this juncture, Your Honor, please, I have to object.
I have no question yet, Your Honor.
Yeah, I am objecting to the witness being shown an articles of incorporation, sorry, a
Articles of
partnership of a partnership, Your Honor, please. Anyways, since the question has not been asked, I will...
Let us wait for the question, counsel. In the meantime, the presiding officer allows counsel for the prosecutors to examine the document being presented to the witness.
And Your Honor, for the reference of the senators, we are flashing this Articles of Partnership on the screens. Sir, please take a look at page 2 of these articles. Page 2, sir. That's here. Page 1, page 2. Let's read it together, okay? Primary purpose, to engage in the business of trading both import and export of goods on wholesale, retail basis. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now on page, the same very same page 2. The secondary purpose. Let's read it together again. Own, use, improve, develop, subdivide, sell, exchange, lease of all kinds, including buildings, houses, apartments, and other structures. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
After that, in the same page 2, the secondary purpose is to print, publish, distribute, buy, sell, acquire rights, to and generally deal in all kinds of software packages, books, periodicals, newspapers, magazines, journals, and other publications dealing in or having to do with subjects of all kinds, character, and all acts of things as may time to time be deemed needful, necessary, or required. You see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm showing you a screenshot of the website of this MaxCore Interventures Co. It states under About Us. I'm also flashing this on the screen, Your Honors, for the ease of the senator judges.
Your Honor, at this juncture, the prosecution will now manifest that there was no question propounded as to the presentation of the articles of partnership. And the council is now moving forward to the presentation of an alleged website. Therefore, it seems that the defense counsel is the one presenting the documents without propounding any question to this witness. Highly improper, Your Honor, please. Highly improper. The counsel should be asking questions and not presenting document. You will have your turn when the defense team is allowed to present your evidence. 2 documents, no question yet. Highly improper, Your Honor, please. Again, I don't want to put the lawyer on the spot, but that is highly improper. Ask questions.
Your Honor, I did ask questions.
No, there was no question.
Counsel-
Can we ask that the transcript be read back?
Counsel, kindly proceed.
Thank you.
Counsel for the prosecutors, with the understanding that Mr. Calilong is not testifying as to the truth of whatever counsel asked him or what he read, because clearly he's not competent
Agreed,
to
Your Honor.
testify as to the truth of what is contained in the articles of partnership. However, as to the fact that he read it and saw it, up to that extent, and the senator judges are so advised as well. So ordered. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, sir. And I am on cross, Your Honor. Thank you. Sir, under the words about us, it says MaxScore Interventures has been established as a one-stop source of different products and services intended for both government and private institutions. Its company tagline, Innovation Without Boundaries, stands true testament to provide customers with quality merchandise, from the simplest to the most sophisticated ones at very affordable prices. The company places a long-term business relationship through customer satisfaction on top of its priority list, with integrity and honesty as the foundation of the company. It envisions to evolve into excellence amidst the competitive pace of information technology. You see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, now I'm showing you another screenshot of the website of this MaxScore Interventures Co. You confirm that I'm also flashing this for the ease of the court. Sir,
At this point, Your Honor, please, allowed. The prosecution is allowed.
Counsel for the prosecutor is recognized.
Your Honor, not by way of an objection, but a manifestation, Your Honor, please.
Your Honor, this is...
Wait. I'm not
Before
done.
that, I would like to object to your manifestation. Your Honor, there's no objection. Why is the
Your Honor,
prosecutor allowed to manifest during my cross-examination?
Counsel
Honor.
for respondent, kindly wait for the presiding officer to recognize you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What is the desire of the counsel for the prosecutors to
I
make
would
a
like to put into record the simple fact, Your Honor, please, that basis has not yet been laid as to the presentation of these documents. He presented an articles of partnership and screenshots of websites without saying who took these screenshots or who, from where did the defense get the articles of partnership. That is only by way of manifestation. No need for the court to rule on that, Your Honor, please.
Noted. Earlier ruling of the presiding officer stands. Counsel may proceed.
Your Honor, may I respond?
No need, counsel. It was not an objection. Please proceed with your cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I also state a manifestation, Your Honor? Your Honor, the basis of the defense was laid.
For the record, the chair will allow it just this
Thank you.
once, please.
The basis of the defense was laid when we asked him whether he testified that he got his training as an expert witness from MaxScore Ventures. That's basis,
Counsel,
Your Honor.
please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you take a look at this? Under the words "our products," the products seen there are office supplies and equipment, equipment software and hardware, investigative equipment hardware and software, emergency response software, and CCTVs. Do you see that?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Calilong, are you a lawyer?
No, sir.
Yesterday, you testified that you signed the affidavit of investigation dated February 10, 2025.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I request a copy from the prosecution? I think it is Exhibit P-4-3 in series.
P-4-
3 series.
Your Honor, please, manifestation. The witness, number one, mentioned the affidavit of investigation, but that the witness did not identify the documents. So for the record, Your Honor, please, that document is not yet presented in courts as a documentary evidence, Your Honor, please. So highly improper for the defense to elicit that document through this witness, precisely because this witness did not yet identify the affidavit of investigation, Your Honor, please.
Which exhibit is this? I believe he did, counsel, but which exhibit is this?
Exhibit P-4-3 to Exhibit P-4-3BB, Your Honor.
Your Honor, please, if I may, it was not yet identified, but it's pre-marked, Your Honor, please, to be presented by our next witness, Attorney Jeremy Lotok. So highly improper, in as much as we want to accommodate the defense.
So who is the signatory in that document? Is it
Your Honor, Mr. Calilong is a signatory to that document.
is one of the signatories?
Yes.
Is one of the signatories. But the counsel for prosecutor is correct. This document has not yet been identified by any of the witness for the counsel for the prosecutors.
Yes.
You will get your chance, counsel for the respondent, when Attorney Lotok testifies later, which I believe this is the only exhibit that he will be testifying to.
All right, Your Honor.
Kindly proceed, counsel.
You mentioned a affidavit of investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this affidavit of investigation, you sent a copy to the House of Representatives Committee on Justice.
Yes, sir.
You identified it during the House Committee hearings on April 29, 2025.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you now an affidavit of investigation. This is marked as Exhibit D-4-46 in series, Your Honor.
D-4-46 in series. Is there a counterpart marking from the counsel for prosecutors?
Yes, Your Honor. This is P-4-3 to P-4-3BB.
Thank you. For the record.
This annex of this affidavit of investigation has appendages, correct? Annexes.
Yes, sir.
And it forms a whole, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, do you confirm that you signed this?
I'm one of the signatories, sir.
Do you want me to have him identify signature? Okay. Your Honor, do you have here, sir? Kaso lang, sir, yung sinumpit emote po, I withdraw, Your Honor. Apart from this affidavit of investigation, dated February 10, are you aware if there is another affidavit of investigation executed by the NBI represented by the Cybercrime Division in relation to this case?
This is the only one that is submitted, sir.
No, executed, signed.
Honor,
My question is
the defense
executed.
cannot argue with the witness, Your Honor, please.
The witness would know how to respond, counsel. If he is not responsive to your question, do not argue with the witness.
Yes, Your
Kindly
Honor.
rephrase.
Apart from this affidavit of investigation, are you aware if there is any other affidavit of investigation signed by the NBI represented by the cybercrime?
Okay, at that juncture, I have to object. Vague, Your Honor, affidavit of investigation
Related
signed by
to
the
this
NBI.
case, Your
There could
Honor.
be thousands
related to this
documents.
case.
If the witness knows, witness may answer. Is there any other affidavit of investigation executed by the NBI cybercrime in relation to this case, witness?
As far as I remember, sir, this is the final affidavit of investigation, sir.
Final affidavit. Are you sure, Agent? Let me remind you that you are under oath.
Yes, sir.
I have with me a certification, a DOJ certification executed by J.V. Lawrence B. Bandung, Senior Assistant State Prosecutor J.V. Bandung. For the record, Your Honor, this is Exhibit D-4-29 for the defense. Do you see this, sir?
Yes, sir.
This certification dated February 5, 2025, states, and I quote, the complaint referral does not contain all the necessary evidence to prove the essential elements of the crime. Therefore, it is recommended that the same be first referred for case buildup. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now below that, in the second page, below that, under the word notes, number 1, therefore, states, and I quote, that there is no... May I have this flashed on the screen, please? For the ease of the court. So the Honorable Court can follow. Under notes again, sir. For the record, Your Honor, we are flashing the certification on the screen. Under notes, sir, number 1 therefore states, and I quote, there is no affidavit of the persons who recorded the video entitled VP November 23 Press Con at Batasan through open broadcast software OBS and in turn stored it in a digital video disc. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to page 2. On paragraph 7, it states, and I quote, one of the elements of the crime of grave threats is that the offender threatens another with infliction upon the latter's person, honor, or property, or upon that of the latter's family of any wrong amounting to any crime. In the instant complaint, only the NBI executed an affidavit and there was no participation on the part of the offended parties, as it appears. NBI is not the offended party for the crime of grave threats. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Above this, in paragraph 6, it states that, and I quote, only the minutes of the meeting with several personalities and representatives from various media outfits were submitted. And although the minutes were signed, there was no individual affidavit executed regarding the contents of said minutes. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
On paragraph 5, it states that, and I quote, the affidavit of one Patria Morales mentioned that she stored these footages in a USB and submitted it to the NBI. However, there was no USB attached to the complaint, only a DVD was attached. There was no detail regarding the contents of this DVD. Do you see that, sir?
Yes.
On paragraph 4, it states, and I quote, Annex L did not indicate who made such TSN. There was also no affidavit of the person who made the TSN. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
On paragraph 3, it states that, and I quote, Annexes I and K, open parenthesis, DVDs with markings NBI-CNN-C-2412-43-6-2 and NBI-CCN-C-24-12436-2, close parenthesis, were not accompanied by an affidavit of the record and TSN, also affidavit of the one who will execute the TSN.
Yes, sir.
On paragraph 2, it states, and I quote, the press briefing conducted on October 18 was not recorded and or stored in a DVD, no video submitted, and there was no TSN of the said briefing and the necessary affidavit of the person taking the CSN.
Yes, sir.
Now you are aware, sir, so now, is your memory refresher? Did the DOJ send back the original affidavit of investigation to the NBI?
Yes, sir. As far as
Thank you. Now, you are aware that on February 11, 2025, the NBI, through its then director, retired Judge Jaime B. Santiago, wrote to the Office of the Prosecutor General submitting a revised affidavit of investigation.
Yes, sir.
This is your affidavit of investigation dated February 10, right? February 10, 2025.
Correct. So, wait. So, objection, Your Honor. The defense said that this is your affidavit, dated February 10, without showing any document to
I'm
the
asking,
witness.
sir.
How could the witness answer to a question that is not accompanied with a document? That should be the basis for the question and the answer,
And this
Your
is
Honors.
your affidavit. I will reform, Your Honor.
Kindly reform, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is your affidavit dated February 10, 2024, correct? Please check. Sorry, sir.
Your Honor, can I make a manifestation, Your Honor, please?
Your Honor, can we object again to this manifestation?
Manifestation. I will not even object. I'm being generous. Your Honor,
Counsel, let's wait for the witness to review it. It's a voluminous document. And the signature is on the last page. You can make the corresponding objection to
signature.
the style, manner, or cross-examination of the counsel for responding at the proper time.
Yan po. Is this the amended affidavit of investigation?
This is a photocopy of the
Yes, sir.
affidavit, sir.
This is the amended one.
Yes, sir. The photocopy, sir.
Thank you.
With the permission of counsel, Mr. Calilong, what was the date of the first affidavit you submitted that was returned by the DOJ to the NBI?
As far as I remember, January 30. And was, when the certification was issued, we complied with the requirements and submitted it on February 10. That's
Have
why
you
there's a revision.
identified that affidavit of investigation dated January 30 in yesterday's proceedings? No. Yes or no?
Sir?
Have you identified the January 30?
The one that I identified, Your Honor, is the authentication, Your Honor.
Not the affidavit of investigation. So you have not done so.
Yes, sir.
This one, you have not done so too.
Yes, Your Honor.
For the record, counsel, you may proceed.
I'm showing you now a letter dated January 30 from the former NBI Director Jaime Santiago,
Now, I have to object, Your Honor, please. You know, the defense has been confronting this witness with documents, even without marking and identifying the source of these documents.
Your
It's
Honor,
like
that's-
plucking out of thin air a document, presenting them the document to the witness, and withdrawing the document
Your Honor, that's up to
without
the...
even introducing this piece of evidence, this piece of exhibits into evidence. So my question is, through the presiding officer, is the defense not entering these documents into evidence, Your Honor, please?
They can do so at the proper time, counsel, but insofar as the witness is concerned, I think the basis was laid when he said that he executed only one affidavit of investigation in connection with this case. Now it seems that there are two affidavits,
I would like to make
both of which have not yet been presented. One will be presented, I think, by Attorney Lotok.
Your Honor, for
But
the
first
record-
one, we're not aware of it. Is that correct, counsel, for the respondent?
Your Honor, he just identified a copy of the affidavit of investigation.
Dated January 30?
April 10, 2025. Your Honor.
April,
February 10.
10.
Sorry, Your Honor. February 10.
February 10, Your Honor, please.
What about the first affidavit? The witness said he had the first affidavit.
Yes, Your Honor. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
You only cited